welcome back to another video. This really popped when I saw it. That to me is a monster increase. Again, this book got hot. This book is ready to go higher.
So let's jump right into it.
We are back today with another statue review from Diamond Select Toys. Without further ado, let's get into the review. What is going on YouTube? This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics and Collectibles, and welcome back to another video. You guys know what day it is. That's right, we're here for the Hot 10 Comics of the Week, the breakdown. What I do is I take the 10 hottest comics according to the Key Collector app, and I break them down one by one, letting you guys know if I'm a buyer here at these prices or if I'd be staying away or possibly even selling. Before every video, I ask you guys, if you are not a current subscriber of the channel, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button for me. I want you to smash that like button as well because it does help the channel out. And of course, turn on the notification bell because it lets you guys know when I post new videos. With that said, we're jumping right in here at number 10. It is a copy of Detective Comics number 411 and the first cover appearance of Talia al Ghul. And with all Batman keys being super hot right now, a CGC 9.2 recently sold last week for $1,590, up 6% since August. You guys know, if you're watching my recent videos, I've been picking up all the early Batman keys. To me, I think this one is too expensive, especially for the character. If I'm going to buy an Al Ghul, I'm buying Ra's al Ghul, and you guys know I just picked that book up. I would love to add it if I can get one for a good price at a lower grade, but $1,600 is way too much money for this character. I'm staying away. At number 9 this week is a copy of Amazing Spider-Man number 123 and the funeral of Gwen Stacy and a CGC 8.0. Just sold last week for $119, up 20% since August. Now, you guys usually know I purchase all Amazing Spider-Man keys, but this one I don't think is a big enough key for me to add. I'd rather take that money and buy the Death of Gwen Stacy or the Death of the Green Goblin. To me, that's better purchase. I'll be staying away from this one for the asking price, even though I'd love to add another Amazing Spider-Man book to my collection. At number 8 this week is another Gwen Stacy key, Amazing Spider-Man number 31, the first appearance of Gwen Stacy, but this is also the first appearance of Harry Osborn, a double first appearance, and a CGC 6.0. Just sold last week for $1,100, up 6% since the prior week, guys. This book is on fire. It's been on the list a couple of months ago, back on the list now. Eventually, Gwen Stacy and Harry Osborn are going to show up in an MCU/Sony film. It's only a matter of time. You guys know I'm 100% a buyer of this book. This book is too hot to pass up. One of my favorite Amazing Spider-Man early Silver Age keys. I'm all over this one if you do not own a copy as of yet. At number 7 this week is a copy of Doctor Strange number 175 and the first cover appearance of Clea and a CGC 5.5. Recently sold last week for $150, up a whopping 88% since November. Now, if I'm going to buy a book with Clea in it, I'm going to buy the first appearance of Clea. I forget what Strange Tales number it is, but it was on the list basically for the last 8 months. I told you guys to stay away from that book, but I also told you if that book starts to come in a little bit, I'd be all over it because I think that Clea is going to be a big part of the MCU going forward. So with that said, I'm staying away from this one and watching the other one to see if it drops in price because that's the one I'd be picking up. At number 6 this week is a copy of Thor number 1 and the third cameo and the first cover appearance of Jane Foster as Thor and a CGC 9.8. Just sold last week for $699, up 4% since April. You guys know a couple of weeks back I told you to drop this book and I'm sticking to my guts. I am not buying this book right here, right now. I do not know if Jane Foster as Thor is going to take over the mantle long term in the MCU. I still think Thor is going to be there. I think Jane Foster will kind of be in this movie and maybe do a cameo in another movie, and that's it. That's just my opinion. From what I heard, she didn't even want to come back for her little role in Avengers Endgame. With that said, I'm staying away from this book. I'm dumping this book if I own it. I'm just not interested in it, guys. At number 5 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four Annual number 6 and the first appearance of Annihilus, the ruler of the negative zone. This book was on the list, I think, a couple of weeks ago, and a CGC 9.2. recently sold for $3,500, up 6% since 2021. This book has been absolutely on fire. I believe last week was $11,000 sale. Now a nice high grade copy for $3,500. I think this book is a great buy, considering I don't think we're going to get to Annihilus for quite some time. And when it does show up in the MCU, this book is going to skyrocket. You don't have to buy a 9.2. Go out and get yourself a nice 4.0. It's a Silver Age book, and that'll be suffice. But the higher the grade, the more we reward. So stick to your guns on this one. But yes, I'm adding this book. At number 4 this week is a copy of Avengers #1, believe it or not. This awesome first appearance of the Avengers is one of the best undervalued books out there in the Silver Age. And a CGC 5.0 just sold last week for a whopping $10,600, up 26% since last July. If you guys haven't checked out my undervalued series, do me a favor, stop this video, go check those 2 undervalued videos out. This book is all over that list. I'd be definitely buying a copy if you can get your hands on one for a decent price. I think my copy is a 2.0 or a 2.5. Yours doesn't have to be a 5.0. I think this book complete in any grade right now is going to be a good buy 20 years down the line. So yes, I'm all over it. At number 3 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four Annual #2 and the Origin of Dr. Doom. And a CGC 3.5 recently sold last week for $589, up 2% since the prior week. This book has been on and off the list over the past couple of months. I've been sticking to my guns, saying I don't want to go out and buy this book. $600 is a lot of money to spend on a nice low grade to mid grade copy of this book. There are other books out there that I want to own related to Dr. Doom, notably his first appearance. But if you guys can't go out and buy that, obviously try to find some of the other great Dr. Doom books out there. This is not one of the ones that I really want to own for some reason. But hey, if you think that this is a book for you, I'm not going to stop you. I'm kind of wavering on it. I don't want to own it, but a lot of people out there think it's a good buy. So if you're comfortable picking this book up, then go ahead. I'm going to stay no on it still because I just don't want it in my collection. Other than that, you guys make your decision. And at number 2 this week is a copy of Fantastic Four #49 and the first appearance of Galactus. It's about time this book showed up on this list. Another undervalued key in my opinion. And a CGC 6.5 just sold last week for $2,500, matching the last sale from this year. So it didn't get a new high, but it still tied the high that we had from this year. And this book to me is one of the biggies that you guys should grab if you haven't grabbed it yet. One of the big boys. The first appearance of Galactus is only a matter of time before he shows up in the MCU. You might not get it right away, so don't expect an immediate pop and return on this book. If you're going to buy it, you're going to hang on to it in your collection for the next 5 to 10 years. Hopefully he shows up by then, but by then this book would have probably doubled and tripled once he shows up. But yes, you guys know I'm a buyer. And at the top spot this week is a copy of a book I've been talking about on my couple of series ago on Copper Drop. It is a copy of Submariner #1, the first solo title Submariner in his own series, and of course his origin story of Namor. And a CGC 5.5 just sold last week for $687, up 22% since the prior year. You guys know I'd rather own Fantastic Four #4, the first Silver Age appearance of Namor. But if you can't go out and spend the money on that book, this is the next best option. If you can't afford this one, the next best option, in my opinion, is Iron Man and Submariner #1. But this book, I told you guys to buy it while it was hot. I had people come at me on that Copy Drop series saying that time of that book is over. I still don't think it's over. They're going to use the Submariner in a bunch of movies going forward. So if you don't own a copy of this book or any of the books that I mentioned, go ahead and grab them before it's too late. Yes, I'm a buyer. With that said, guys, this is the Hot 10 breakdown of the week for this week. You guys know what time it is. It is time for my best buy of the week, and I can't ignore this book. One of the most undervalued books out there right now. It is a copy of Avengers #1, the first appearance of the Avengers. If you guys don't know this book and you can afford to go buy this book, do me a favor. It is a nice long-term investment and a majorly undervalued key. That's it, guys. Drop me comments down below. Let me know what you think of this list. Did I screw up any of them? Would you rather own some and drop some? I'm always interested in what you guys have to say. This is Lawrence over at Mighty Comics Collectibles saying thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.